and welcome to No BS Baking. You got JP here. Today we're going to explore a few videos that I really liked. One of them is going to be on keto. Well, there are actually two on keto, but one also gluten-free. And then I've got one demonstration by a lady that I really loved with respect to those people interested in sourdough. Now, doing all this little bit of research and taking a look around, I'm going to be doing my next video on keto and gluten-free breads. I know a number of you have been asking me about that. Got some great ideas coming up, so expect that shortly within the next few days after this video. This is a midweek video. Let's go. So here's a quick couple of definitions. Keto breads, high in fat, really low in carbs. Gluten-free breads, made from nuts and seed and grains and other types of flours which are naturally free of gluten. Now, the Keto King caught my attention out here with this video. Best keto bread ever. And you know, when I looked at it, I went, holy smokes, look at the volume of that bread. This is fantastic. You know, it's not, when I think of keto breads and gluten-free breads for that matter, I don't think of big, huge volume like that. But how did he do this? Well, let's talk a little bit about that. So in this video here by the Keto King, I've got my pros all listed there. I thought he did a really good job of presenting this. Now, interestingly enough, he uses vital wheat gluten in there. Some sites say don't use it. Others say it's totally fine to use it. And if you really think about the definition of keto, it's about low carbs. Now, vital wheat gluten is high in protein and low in carbohydrates, and so in my opinion, vital wheat gluten is totally acceptable to use in this style of bread. Now, if you look at what it's done to that bread, the volume is insane. The crumb is more like standard bread texture. Absolutely looks great and still delivers the low carb requirements that you would be looking for in baking a product like this. So hats off to the Keto King. I kind of liked what he did, although I think he could do a little bit of work on his dough weight to pan size calculation. And you could probably also cut a lot of wheat gluten out of here because he used 35% dough weight to capacity, and that thing jumped right over the top of the pan. So there's an opportunity to cut back a little bit on the gluten also. But good job. So like our guy previously with the 35% to pan ratio, dough weight to pan ratio, this product here is more in line with what I would consider to be a real true gluten-free bread. This is 100% dough weight to pan capacity. In other words, the dough fills right up to the top of the pan. Don't expect to get a lot of oven spring from this, but you will get a very nice, beautiful crumb, resilient. You can crunch it up in your hand and it comes back and produces a really nice loaf of bread. So like this video from Low Carb Recipe Ideas, you can quickly and easily see all the pros, the things I liked about it. It's a 100% gluten-free bread. As I mentioned previously, the dough weight to pan capacity is 100%, therefore it's automatically right up to the top of the pan. You don't get a lot of oven spring out of this. But one thing I did want to mention to this, when you're getting into gluten-free breads, take a little extra time on your shaping. You know, I've watched a number of these videos where they just kind of squish it all together and then they pop it into the pan and then that's it. And you know, the big tagline out there on these gluten-free breads and some of these keto breads is, you know, every loaf is different. Embrace the difference. Well, you know what? You can create a little bit more consistency in your product if you spend a little bit more time shaping it. Try to get it smooth as you can. Try to get it to fill out that pan. Make sure you don't have too much dough weight on one side of the pan. Even it all out, and you should get a nice, consistent product from batch to batch. But I liked it. Recommend it. It gets a thumbs up from No BS Baking. Now this lady I found before I even started with No BS Baking, and I really liked her video and I had it tucked away in my little archive there. And then just recently I was thinking about putting one together and acknowledging some of the people that I thought do really good out there. And I came back to this video and I loved it the second time as much as I loved it the first time. Definitely worthwhile if you're looking to learn how to make sourdough and you want to start from scratch. I think she does a fantastic presentation. She explains all of the little details, and it's definitely worthwhile checking out. Once again, I'll have links to all of these in the description. But let's talk a little bit more about what I liked about this video. So as I mentioned, there's a lot of things that I liked about this video. You can see them here under the pros. I just really liked it, most importantly, that she was so detailed and covered off all the little things that you often missed in many other channels and on websites. One of the things that I wish she would have done a little bit better was that she would have talked a little bit about her dough weight to basket size. Once again, that was completely left out of the equation, and I was a little bit weak on the baking rationale and alternatives. She's a 500-degree preheater advocate. Let's put it this way. Some of us don't have ovens that go up to 500 degrees, so what do? Just not make sourdough? Anyway, as you guys all know, you don't need 500-degree preheated oven to bake sourdough. So we'll just forget about that and overlook that one. Now, her product at the end of the day, I think is it's good. I wouldn't say it was perfect, but her presentation and the way she explains it all the way through was fantastic. It's a nice demo for the new beginner to really optimize their chance of making a really decent loaf of bread. Yeah, could the split in the center be a little bit bigger? Could it be a little bit more volume? Of course, but those are all the types of things that you learn as you go along. I think with this type of recipe, what you're going to do is you're going to get a nice loaf of bread, and therefore I'm going to give her a full no BS like.
Thank you for watching the video. If you liked what you saw, please give me a like and a subscribe. It really helps me out as I'm getting this channel going here. And be sure to check out some of the other videos that I have sitting right over here. We'll see you next time. No BS Baking.